Uh, um, I guess next topic is the NBA.
Mm.
A lot of action in this off season. We've been dealing with a couple of morality, I guess, issues in the NBA recently. Um, the I'd say recently, with starting with Robert Sarver and the report coming out of Phoenix. Um, Robert Sarver has released a statement stating that he will be looking for buyers for the Phoenix Sun and the Phoenix Mercury, and that he wasn't given the opportunity to be forgiven, wasn't given the opportunity to be a better person, and that because of this cancel culture era we're in, he's decided to make that move. Any thoughts on this, just off of what you've heard from Mr. Sarver regarding the Phoenix Suns?
Personally, when we talk about the topics for the show, I was kind of done with this topic. But you just said something interesting where it's, the cancel culture thing, like, oh, I made a mistake. This wasn't a one-time thing we're talking about, right? He didn't get upset one night or one day in the office and went off. This is years of behavior. So it's easy to say, oh, it's cancel culture. No. This isn't a one-time mistake. This is what you do. This is the culture you created in your team, in your organization. So yeah, I'm not buying the, woe was me. Oh my God, today is cancel culture. No, this is a culture that you set that they're trying to get rid of in Phoenix.
Yeah, and I don't even like the term cancel culture. For me, there are consequences to every action. No matter who you are, what you do, there's consequences to every action. And sooner or later, you're going to have to pay the price.
Yeah, but my point in this, though, is that it's plural. You know what I mean? It's consequence to his actions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, no, we're in agreement, but I'm just saying, like, my whole thing is like, this isn't a one-time thing where he's being chastised or exiled or however he wants to word it because of something he did in one moment or one day. This is his behavior over a period of time that people want him to sell the team for. So,
I understand, but he wants to mea culpa for free will. Like this is who he is. Like this is his choice. He chose things. He chose to be a misogynistic person. And then you want people to give you a second chance for free will. You chose to be this guy. I have no problem with it. Be it.
Yeah, it wasn't a mistake. It's his person. It's who he is. Like you said, I totally agree with you. It's like he didn't mess up, and he slipped. This is who he is. He showed who he was.
I would respect him more, believe it or not. I wouldn't like it, but I respect him more. Who I am.
Right, because what he's being, what people are going at him for, is his consistent behavior.
Right.
That's my point.
Yeah. And, it's easy to fake who you're not. You know what I mean? It's more so this is who he is. So, I mean, the whole cancel culture, more on what you on that. It's just more so people with a conscience. You feel like these people, that other side of who you are, should be more apologetic for something which you did, which was wrong. No, it doesn't work that way. But that comes with, to me, privilege. I am a billionaire. There's no restrictions off of what I do. And if I do get my, for lack of a better term, PP slapped, it's your fault for not forgiving to me. Bro, do what you have to do, sell a team. If not, you know what I mean? It's up to the players to decide whether or not they're going to grab a check with him. I'm more of the lines of chaos. I would prefer for him to stay myself, because I want to see who are the partners who would be in agreement with him to, or not, to make a decision to say we want him out.
Yeah,
so I don't want him to have the easy way out in this situation.
And you bring up an interesting point, Hill, and I was interested in seeing that too, especially after Draymond Green and Chris Paul spoke out. Draymond in particular, where he spoke out so eloquently about, hey, if it takes the owners to make the decision to force him out of the league, then hey, I want the owners to make the vote, and I want the vote to be public. I want to see where everybody stands. And when he said that, I was like, wow, yeah, I do want to see where everybody stands. I do want to see, hey, what does Jenny Buss think about this? Or what does Mr. Nolan in New York think about this? Want to see where these guys fall on this issue. And I think Robert Sarver has, quite honestly, bailed the NBA out, bailed the owners out, saved them from being forced to make that decision to show where they stand in history on this issue. And I would have been interested as well to see, hey, where do they fall on this? Where do the leagues at top echelon of power, where do they fall on this issue? And I think, hey, Robert Sarver did them a great favor.
9 times out of 10, when that is done, more so than not, the person going out, you pretty much just, because it's a group of elitists and they've done well in society, but at the same time, they tend to know where the bones are hitting, per se. So the fact that they're probably saying, please, Bob, leave, but leave quietly. And him doing that, who knows what's going behind the scenes? It could be some type of slush fund they all put together to say, Rob, on top of you leaving, here's a little bit extra for you leaving for being quiet. Because there's no way, as an NBA owner, of what I said, regardless, it's a gold mine to have a franchise, whatever situation you're in. And he happened to have 2 of them, WNBA as well. And these don't come around like that. So for him to be willing to sell, it just seems a little bit more to it than just that. Because, like I said, owners hate to part ways with franchises.
And you're speaking to this conspiracy theorist little conspiracy theorist in my head that says that in his statement, all he said was he's going to look for buyers.
Right.
He never mentioned, hey, I'm going to sell, I'm going to sell the team. You know what I mean? He just said, hey, I'm going to look for buyers for the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury. I love the thought that he may be biding some time with the statement of, hey, I'm looking for some buyers. And we all assume that, hey, that means he's selling for sure. He waits a week, 2 weeks, a month until the start of the season, see how the temperature is then, and see if people actually care about this then. And he can say, you know what? I'll take the suspension. I changed my mind. If the temperature is cool enough for him to feel comfortable with reversing course on this decision.
To me,
I wouldn't be surprised.
To me, it's that status symbol of the elite billionaires in which you just can't get back. You know what I mean? Like you equate Jerry Jones with being this oil tycoon or the owner of the Cowboys.
Exactly.
And you equate Dolan with owning MSG or owning the Knicks. You know what I mean? So it's just hard for me to say that you were just Sarver with real estate. No one can, you just know him as, he owns the Suns. That is how you pick and differentiate these ultra elitists by the toys they have. You know what I mean? Like, so you have Bill Gates, Microsoft. You know what I mean? You have what you call them with Amazon. So a franchise and giving it up would be harder for me to see these billionaires give it up just for the status symbol that they represent, and for him to be actively looking for buyers. I mean, it's just, to me, something more to it. It doesn't have to be, but it just feels like it's something more to it than just that. But we'll see.
So let me ask you last question, fellas, and we'll move on. Um, do you guys really believe that he's going to sell the team? To that
Yes,
point,
I
to
do.
your point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
I do.
He's being forced to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I do. I think he's going to get rid of it, but it's just, for me, I would never. But I do think he's going to get rid of it.
Okay. Okay. Also in the NBA, and this is more recent news. Recently, happened later this week. I think it was reported Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka is currently being considered for a 1-year suspension from the team for a consensual relationship with a female staffer at the Boston Celtics. That's as far as the story. Those are the only concrete facts that have been released regarding this issue.
Not really either.
But all right, hey, you
Yeah,
tell me.
no, that was the initial reports, right? That it was a consensual relationship.
Yes, sir.
Now you're getting more and more information and more and more ambiguity, which is weird from the Boston side. You know, they're saying now we got to wait for more. For one, this is an investigation that was happening since the summer. So who knows there? But now they're questioning the fact of the consensual relationship now. So now they're holding more information back. So it's hard for me to really jump into this and give my opinion, because when it was consensual, I was ready to go and discussing everything. So now the fact that the Celtics are just, to me, they're bumbling this story.
Yeah, it's been handled very sloppily. I think from just the onset, it's just been handled very sloppily. If there's an issue of being improper at the workplace,
Right.
I think you need to fully conduct your investigation, get all the facts cleared up, then come to a decision on whether punishment needs to be served or not, whether authorities need to be brought in, whatnot. All that needs to happen before reports start leaking out. And I think Boston Celtics, whoever's handling their PR at this time, or handling their dealings with the media, is doing a terrible job. And on everybody, for everybody's account. If
Including
there's nothing, you know, if there's nothing more than, hey, a consensual relationship between two individuals, and that was against your company policy, and Ime Udoka broke that company policy, honestly, he should be punished. We shouldn't know about it. It should just be. If there was something improper going on with that relationship and it wasn't consensual, hey, we shouldn't know about it at this point, and the authorities should be involved and called in.
Yeah. For one, what we do know is that something was done. Ime issued an apology. The owner issued full accountability on his part. But for what? Like you said, if it's consensual, you go down the guidelines of your policy for your team, and you issue a statement, and he's suspended or he's relieved. It's just, we can't talk about it. We don't know. We're getting it. We're waiting for the investigation to start. But yet you issue this suspension on what basis? And they had Brad up there. They had the owner. And no one could give you a straight up answer. It's just something was done wrong. But what was it? Ime's not married.
Mm-hmm.
In a relationship with his significant other. And again, my heart goes out to all those that are hurt in this situation, but we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And I just think that this is going to carry through, and I mean, I don't know how Boston is going to overcome with this. I mean, they said that the assistant coach, pretty much following the lines of Ime's game plan, so it should be a pretty much, flawless, transition.
Yeah.
But
Now, go ahead, P. I'm sorry.
Nah, yeah, just to piggyback what Hill was saying, as far as as far as we know, he went against company policy, had a relationship with a staffer. That's it. But according to some guys who have people in the league, people in the offices, I know for one, Matt Barnes, who kind of defended him at the beginning, then learned more information, behind the scenes information. Apparently, it's like, no, I can't defend what he did. But we don't know. We don't know what that is. So you know what I mean. So I feel like there's obviously more to the story. Will it come out? We don't know. Is it that bad? We don't know. We just don't know. So.
And P, like you're saying, Barnes, the information that he was privy to was enough to retract his statement.
Right. So that says something to me as an NBA player who he's probably seen some things. You know what I mean? So for him to stand by the guy, and then I got more information that's not out there yet. Now I'm not standing by him. Just out of curiosity, I'm sure like everybody else, what is it? You know what I mean? So I think time will tell. Time will tell.
And then they're telling me now, P, now it's multiple infractions. Like, what does that mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the Celtics would have been better served just to keep it in house and just said, okay, he broke this rule. He's suspended for a year. Because you're giving us a press conference, but you're not really releasing much information. You could have done that you could have just released a statement for that.
More ambiguity. It was weird. Very weird.
Agreed.
I want to kind of back up a bit to something Hill said. So you think that they're going to have issues going into the season because of Ime's absence? Now, some are saying that this could be a point for them to galvanize themselves around, and come closer together as a team. Now, I'm wondering with this situation, and also with the situation that happened over the summer where Jaylen Brown and several others were put up on the trade block for a possible Kevin Durant trade. Is this just the straw that's going to break the camel's back, or do we think they'll be able to pull together and come closer and adopt that us against the world philosophy that we often hear teams?
I honestly think they're going to be what they was going to be. Like if they win, you could spin the story and say, "Oh, we're doing it for him. It galvanized the team." If they lose, they say, "Oh, we need his guidance." I don't know. I don't know how you measure that. I don't know how you measure his absence and how it affects the team. You know what I mean? Like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are still there. They have one of the best rosters in the league. So I don't know. It depends how you want to spin the story. But they are who they are.
And that's right there, how you want to spin the story. I mean, some are saying Ime gave them that defensive personality, which they don't know if the backup coach, if the backup assistant coach will be able to emulate. I say if it's a system, why not? We saw Steve Kerr go, Mike Brown coach. We saw Mike Brown get sick. We saw Walton. If it's the culture there, I see it should be just a flawless transition. They should be fine. The only thing that could concern me is a possible rumor, and wait it out, that it's not so much cohesive as some might think there in Boston land, because they're saying that it's a possible starter that might have leaked the impropriety in general between Ime and the staffer. So we don't know yet. Either just so much stuff is coming out and we don't know what is true. So we're saying that's what a possibility could have been. So who knows? Some might want Ime out. So who knows? Again, we don't have enough information. It's just pure speculation. I think Boston will be fine. I think talent always overrides but you do need a really good coach, which seems like he was transforming into, even in being in his first year, it seemed like he was having them down the right path. So, like I said, we'll see. Maybe it's a culture, maybe it might not be him.
And I think at the end of the day, we could all agree that, hey, it looks like he's made some bad decisions while being the Boston head coach.
Yeah.
At the very least. And speaking on bad decisions, want to go out to LA Hill. Rob Pelinka. He's been stocking up on guards. And stocking up on, more specifically and more importantly in my mind, on players that need the ball in their hands. And I'm struggling to find a cause for that, especially when you have one of the best players with the ball in his hand, LeBron James. And you figure you would want him to have the ball in his hands and just surround him with people that can finish, whether that be behind the three-point line or at the rim. What's going on in LA? Hell, I mean, Pete, talk to me. What's going on, man? In LA, I don't know what's going on with Mr. Pelinka. I'm hoping Jenny can kind of rein them in or something. I'm hoping that there's a master plan out there, so that they're stocking up on these guards because they have to make the trade of a lifetime. And I don't know what it's going to be, but you can't tell me 6 guards is a good team.
I don't think it's the worst situation. I think it's the absolute deadliest situation. And that would be worse than worse, because you're talking about LeBron James, probably the third, second best point guard to ever do it. Would actually drive the lane and have his options to kick it out to a Schroeder, Westbrook, or a Pat Beverly. I mean, it doesn't make sense, the construction of this roster and why they're so guard heavy. And it's like guard heavy guards who are below 35% from like 3-point line. Like, I have no clue what Rob Pelinka is doing.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is, if there were guards that could shoot 3 at a high percentage, it wouldn't be as bad. But they're guards that aren't necessarily good shooters. And when you have a LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you would think you would just surround these guys who demand a double team with great shooters. So, I don't like the construction of the team, and that's why we're talking about it. I don't think nobody does. It might be a long season out there. And this is all thinking that AD is going to be healthy.
Yeah, and I'm devastated because I see the picture that you're talking about, LeBron James driving down the lane, and the best shooter that he has as an option is in the lane with him, and Anthony Davis, like on the team, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like I said, I'm holding out hope that there's some secret Illuminati type of back deal trade that they got working on in their heads, and why they acquired all these pieces that seem to be doing the same thing. So I don't know.
I mean, Pat Bev had one of his best 3-point shooting years last year.
And he was like 30, 35, 32%.
38. He was up there. He had one of his best shooting threes, but there's no way you'll mistake him for Dame Lillard or Steph Curry. That was an abomination. And he's gotten better. And to me, that's not a good thing. You would hope he wouldn't get worse. You would say, no, that shit, when he gotten better, it's not good. Because it's something that you could think you can rely on. And Pat Beverly is not a good 3-point shooter. Neither is Westbrook. Kendrick Nunn can't get on the court. Austin Reeves is someone they're going to have to shine, and he is one jump shot away from the G League. It's just a horribly constructed team. I mean, that one of the best snipers they probably have to rely on is probably Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Juan Toscano Anderson. Another guard.
Like, hey, your best shooters are in your front court. And that brings up another thing. How are you going to play LeBron and AD? Are you playing LeBron at the 4 now?
Yeah.
With the squad that wow.
I mean, you got to look towards. I mean, they don't want to separate themselves from the 27, 29 pick, because that's going to be. Let's face it. By then, the Lakers, whoever gets the 27 and 29 year pick from the Lakers, that'll be either the first pick or the second pick. So those picks are gold. So I can understand why Genie doesn't want to part ways with those picks. But for the LeBron now, I mean, you're just going to throw these last 2 to 3 years away with these decisions. Rob, I mean, thank God for the bubble win, but Rob has shot his load.
Oh, yeah.
The greatest franchise, it looks dire right now. Boston has a better chance. They have more talent. But the state of affairs of the premier franchises this league has had to offer, they look bleak right now on a Saturday.
Yeah. And for the league, at least you had one of them that had a seemingly bright path or a clearer path to re-enter prominence. But now with the Ime Udoka story and what's happening with that, and we don't even know if there's any fallout from the Kevin Durant trade offers and stuff like that. It looks like both of these teams are the path just got a little murkier for both of these teams. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or email us directly at WeNeeda5th @gmail.com. Fellas, after talking about NBA, bad decision making, bad decisions, want to talk about some of the non-playoff teams from last year. Any of these non-playoff teams, especially after this offseason and some of the major trades that have gone down and the draft that we saw, any of these teams strike you as a team that's ready to make that 180 and make a serious push into the playoffs?
I wouldn't say 180, but we don't have to go too far. We go back to last segment. The Lakers.
Whoa. I don't know if that's even a good choice for this, man.
Since we're counting the play-in as the playoffs, they're telling me, what is it, like 10? It's like 100 teams that make the playoffs now. Utah's out. That's for certain.
Utah's Are you sure?
Out. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Utah's out.
Pete, I think Utah got a better chance to make the playoffs than the Lakers do right
now. No, because anytime the Lakers play Utah, the Lakers clearly have the best 2 players on the court, clearly, and it's not close, not even up for debate. So I know as a Laker fan, you're harsh on them. They're better than Utah.
Okay, if you say
they're
so.
Better than Utah. This LeBron is better than any player that ever played for Utah in the history of the franchise. Yes, excluding nobody.
Okay, so you got the Lakers.
Yes.
Any other teams out there that you looking at that can make that one? Any other teams that can make a real 180, not like this Laker team. This Laker team is not gonna be able to do it.
Well, I don't think none of these teams will make a 180. I just think the Lakers could get in, and I think Charlotte has a chance. They have a chance in the East to be a playoff team.
Okay. Hey, what's up? You as confident in the Lakers as my man P over here?
Well, if you're gonna take Utah out, I'm gonna slot Portland in. I mean, and I have the Lakers at 35 and 47, somewhere in that area.
But that might get them in the playing game. No?
I don't think playing game either. Again, Lakers are a really bad team. Give or take 4 wins, and most likely take. So we'll go with 31 and maybe 50. It's a bad team, a poorly constructed team. And we have to weigh this man's 21st, 22nd season. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Keep him great, but he should be used about 26, 27 minutes at the most to get the optimum amount of LeBron James. And they're going to try to use 34, 35 minutes. Guy is old.
Yes.
He should be transitioning into his like mercenary sniper mode, closer mode, where hey, y'all bringing me in to close out the game. I'm Mariano Rivera. But now they having them like, yo, we want you to be Aaron Judge. Let's show hey.
Yeah.
Too. Like, yo, no, you can't do that.
No,
It's just too much, P.
Portland's a good pick. Portland's a good pick. I'm not gonna lie. Portland's a good pick.
Yeah, Portland should be fine. I don't want to go out and reach.
But
I want to see. I want to see Sacramento in the playing game. Man.
Here it goes. Here it is. I was waiting for this.
And see, that was going to be one of the teams I mentioned, but I'm glad you got it and went out the window on that one.
Yeah, Mike Brown, and probably the Rookie of the Year.
See, since you went out the window on that one, Hill, and you were willing to jump off that cliff edge, I'm gonna go right with you. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna take it to the East. And I'm surprised neither one of y'all mentioned this team, but maybe the Detroit Pistons. Y'all keep on telling me about Cade Cunningham. Now he got a running mate. Ivy's over there, and I think Duran, and I think they picked up Bogdan not too long ago. They got sneakily enough, they're starting to develop a nice little roster over there in Detroit. I think that they can get challenged for that 8 through 10 seed in the East. I think they can challenge for that.
What do you think Orlando would do with Paulo Banchero?
I think right now, I think they got a chance to get the kid from Australia.
There you go. I think they're going to be what Detroit was last year.
All right, so those slots you're thinking maybe Detroit and definitely maybe Charlotte gets in for the playing game against them.
Actually, no, I think Detroit has a shot to get the kid from Australia too. I think Orlando has a better chance, but I think Detroit might be a year away. I think they might be a year away. They'll be better though. They'll be better.
I think what you call might be a playoff team too this year. I think Brooklyn might be a playoff team this year as well.
They're a pretty good shot. I hate the play
because they weren't a playoff team last year, right?
No, did they make the playoffs?
Yeah,
They got swept right out of the playoffs.
They played.
Oh, if you tuned in for the second round, no, hell, they didn't play. It didn't happen.
They're the only team.
You started watching the playoffs in the second round. No, it didn't happen.
The only team not to do it, right?
Get there early. Yeah, they win the game. Technically, they literally did not show up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This year, give me a game.
And what I want to point out to all of our fans out there, and especially our fans like Kyle,
Shout out.
Nobody in their right mind, the New York Knicks, with the new acquisition of Jalen Brunson. I mean, come on, people.
You do know you're saying this because you do know Knicks fans is like, yo, we could get into a playing game.
Exactly, exactly,
Okay.
B.
Okay.
Exactly. That's why I like messing with them.
Knicks fans, I got y'all. Y'all the most loyal fans, man. Y'all the most.
And why?
Y'all been through some stuff, man.
And I'm
Y'all the
wondering
most loyal
why.
fans.
I got the Knicks making
The who?
the playoff. I think
See, you
Russ.
break it up. Your phone don't even want to do it. I'm sorry.
I have the Knicks making the playoffs.
Wow.
I
think you're the only one here.
I actually have.
No, he is. He is.
I actually have Miami actually taking the step they're supposed to.
To the opposite direction.
Yes, absolutely. The bad team.
Oh my God.
So slot the Knicks out.
Oh God.
Oh,
There's some bad
man.
teams in the NBA.
So just to be clear, Hill, you got Portland, Sacramento.
Right.
P.
Stay with LA. Portland's a good pick though. I'm staying with LA.
I was trying to give you the space to change that.
I'm staying with LA.
You staying with LA, and I got Detroit, and I think Portland. I like the Sacramento pick too. So Detroit and Sacramento.
Oof.
Ha!
Wow. Mike Brown, that rookie looks really nice. He had a really good summer league.
When did Mike Brown become a difference maker? What did I miss?
When he went undefeated with Golden State.
With Golden
Thank
State.
you.
With
Thank you.
Golden State.
Okay.
With Golden State.
Okay.
He went undefeated with arguably like the dynasty team of this era.
So did Walton. I mean, I get it.
And you do know Walton went to Sacramento.
Yeah.
We are aware that Walton went to
Man.
Sacramento.
As soon as he said it to me, I was like, "Don't say Walton, yo."
So Mike Brown is different. I think De'Aaron Fox is probably a pretty good player. I don't understand what people see in the Sacramento thing. I don't.
Because they have one of the West Coast big three. That's why.
No.
Whoa.
Yes. No, they do.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah, Keegan Murray, De'Aaron Fox, and Sabonis. That's the big three. Correct. Keegan Murray's good in the Rookie of the Year.
Wow. And I'm glad you transitioned like that, Hill. Let's. Hey, you brought it up. Big three. Who got the best NBA trio right now? Who got the best big three out there?
The best would have to be. I mean, even still, the best I would give it to the returning champs. You know,
Okay.
be Curry, Clay, Clay until said otherwise.
Curry, Clay, and who?
And Draymond?
Okay. No, I agree that it possibly could be Golden State.
Right.
After Curry, I just don't know what two you're giving.
Wow.
With all due respect.
No, whoa. You can't, after a statement like that, you can't put with all due respect, because that's so disrespectful, that statement, yo.
No, that's very respectful to Andrew Wiggins. We're gonna act like he wasn't the second best player last year.
Absolutely. No question.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. When you say Golden State big three, I know traditionally I know who it is.
Yeah,
but
correct.
Last year, I think Wiggins has an argument that he's one of the three best players on that team.
Absolutely. Andrew Wiggins was top 20 players in the league last year?
You could make the argument. 24, definitely. All-star.
All-star, right? Starter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean no disrespect. I'm just saying. I agree that Golden State probably has. You got to be like in the top three of the big threes. I just don't know what three it is. That's all. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair. I'm only going with the easy, lazy way out. Their usual top three, but you know I'm a way guy, so absolutely.
Yeah, but it's fair because they're tried and true. I know that three gets it done. You know what I mean, with Draymond, Clay, and Curry. So it's fair, but
so P, who you got?
the best big three in basketball. Because the Golden State thing is shaky, and he already said it, I would go Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton.
That would be my next.
And you probably could name me three more talented or three more, but make sure they win a championship before you name them, though. You know what I mean? Like Golden State, yeah. I gotta respect it. They won. Milwaukee, gotta respect it. They won. Any other three, if you haven't won, how good are you really then?
And those three at their top, when you're, I think Giannis unlocked means Middleton's on the court, stretching the floor. So that, I mean, you could have them at number one, to be fair, the way they work together with Drew Holiday, point on the ball, Chris opening up the floor for Giannis, and Giannis just dominating down low. So that could be one, to be fair. I'm just going off a recency bias with Golden State winning last year. You said this to me last year, if I would have went with Milwaukee. So I'm kind of 1-1A with Milwaukee and Golden State.
Mo?
Wow.
Mo,
I think
Bueller.
I think I would have gone with Golden State, but to add another name in the hat, or throw another name in the hat, or for consideration, I'm going to mention a couple. One, I'm going to mention Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. And then two, I'm going to mention is my sleeper pick. And only if they have the stay healthy, and I think that goes for all the trios probably. But Denver with Joker, Murray, and Porter Jr. have especially if Joker continues to play on the level or the trajectory that we've seen him go to, as far as being an MVP of the league and being able to be a dominant force in the league. With what Murray and Porter Jr. were doing prior to their injuries, they could be a scary big three, at least in the consideration for a top 5 in the league.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the only thing about Denver, which makes me eerie a little bit, is that unlocking Joker is putting the ball in his hand, most of the time is getting optimum Joker. But Denver is going further by having Jamal Murray having the ball in his hands and making decisions. So I
think if you're Denver, to your point, Hill, you have to try to get Jamal Murray to get as close to a Steph Curry type of game where you could be the point guard. We want the ball in your hands a majority of the times, but we want you to have the ability to work off the ball so that you can utilize Joker's IQ to get you easier shots, get you easier playmaking availability or areas, put you in better positions to be a playmaker, and make your life a little bit easier and help you with your injury. At this point, learn how to move without the ball and learn how to do both, live in both worlds where, you can dominate with the ball, but you don't need the ball to be dominant. I think
that'd be excellent, because that's definitely that would be excellent to see, considering the fact that Joker cannot get out the second round with him being out.
Yeah, I think it's Milwaukee, Golden State, and then you go to the next tier. I think Denver's on that next tier. That's really projecting Michael Porter Jr. too. I don't think we've seen him at his best yet. So I'm assuming he's going to get better because, to me, a big three most of the time are 3 all-stars, and he's not at that level yet. Actually, Jamal Murray isn't really I don't think he's actually made an all-star, but I get Denver. Who else did we mention?
When?
Who? You said Brooklyn?
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
No.
I think if you get Ben Simmons 3 years ago, from 3 years ago.
Here we go again. Shout out. Russell Power to the great DMX, man. Here we go again.
Philly?
Who's the three?
And knock on wood, y'all both said it at the same time. Embiid is Harden is Maxey.
I gotta see it. But in all fairness, if we're gonna say Denver, yeah. If we're gonna say Michael Porter Jr., we could say Maxey. In all fairness.
Okay.
So we're not gonna do Memphis though. Like
We only have one player.
What?
You only have one player.
And if I was being kind, I would say who's the third. But
no, don't be kind. You have one player.
It's Bane and Brooks. Bane and Brooks.
Huh?
What?
Bane and Brooks.
No.
Okay.
That's it.
So we're saying Denver's getting further than Memphis this year.
Yes.
Okay.
If they remain healthy.
Okay.
My sleeper pick would be, again, they have to find a way to play. Would be Kawhi, George, and Wall.
Yeah, that's kind of legit. that's legit. Yeah.
No, it's not legit.
And I would have been there with you, Hill, as a sleeper pick with them. But you got two people that didn't win chips too, so that's kind of. And that's when P mentioned, hey, they gotta have some type of championship experience in order to throw Golden State and Milwaukee as.
To me, it's Golden State and Milwaukee, and then we could discuss. But the Clippers.
Clippers.
I gotta see it.
Yeah,
I gotta see it. Because I don't even know how John Wall is going to mesh with them. That's why I'm kind of skeptical.
I get it.
I'm kind of.
I think they're on that second tier, though. I do. I think they're on that second tier with Denver.
That's
I almost forgot. Yeah, put Phoenix in there, but okay. That's Charlie Brown just trying to kick the ball again. But okay.
DeAndre Ayton tried his best to get out of there. He tried his best to leave, and I don't know how they were able to mend fences between him and Monty. So I think he's still trying to find his way to get out of there.
Yeah, but I guess they're legit second tier, big three. Tatum, Brown, and Smart.
Tatum Brown definitely got to give him, but that could be Brogdon as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a smart guy.
No. For how he played last year, I have to be a smart guy. I need to stop playing smart. Yeah, that's a big three. It is.
Okay. Boston.
Wow. Okay. Y'all call that big three. Okay.
Yeah. No, I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about Towns, Edwards, Rudy Gobert?
Ooh, too soon.
Okay.
Let me see it first.
I mean, truthfully, for me, a big three are like three all-stars.
Too soon, P.
Well, Edwards is
for them.
all-star.
Edwards is what?
Edwards the only one that's not an all-star, right?
Yeah.
All right, so
but, too soon.
Honestly, it's kind of like we open the door.
See how they gonna play, y'all.
We open the door with Denver. we open the door.
No, but no. Why I say it's too soon for Cat and Rudy is because I've seen Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, and Joker on the same court at the same time play well, and I know it works. And they're not gonna be stepping on the court and trying to figure each other out at this point. It's just, hey, can we stay healthy? And do what we were on trajectory to do before y'all two got hurt. Now with Rudy Gobert and Cat, especially the way Cat's been playing as far as being inconsistent, especially on the defensive end and whatnot, and you're gonna play them two together, I gotta see how that looks before I give y'all anything. I'm not gonna take anything for granted because they're not. And Rudy Gobert is not a plug and like play guy when you have a center already. Like that's gonna, and they in the West where, hey, you're gonna ask your four to be out there defending, LeBron James, you know what I mean, at the four and that.
But if
But
you
now,
have like Rudy Gobert, it's not going to matter to me. I mean, if Cat can play worse defense now, Mo, with Rudy Gobert down there now.
you're preaching to the choir, Mo. They told me he's the defensive player of the year. He should be able to stick anybody. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
saying. He's the best defensive player in the NBA. Defense should not be a problem. Although they had to take him out the game because of defense. But, you know.
Oh,
That's all.
No, and honestly, so much worried about him fitting in defensively. I'm worried about Cat fitting in on the defensive end because Cat is suspect defensively without Rudy, and it's like, hey, and with Rudy, and you're committing to playing them both on the same end of the court, same time. Then you're going to be asking for Cat to do more on the offensive side. Color me crazy, but I think that's going to be an excuse for, this is why I'm not hustling extra hard on defense.
He doesn't have to.
Now
doesn't have to. I mean, now you got what you want from Cat. You don't need him to play any defense now, Mo. You just play him towards the big and just utilize him all the way. And I think that's what Minnesota is expecting. I got them 54-28, bro. I got Minnesota high this year. But a simple fact, he's not having to be that anchor and getting dunked on and taking plays off because Rudy just has one focus and is being an anchor for that team. You might have him totally optimum offensive player down, being the fact that it's just him and A. Edwards now just shouldering that load and having to play no defense now. Minnesota should be a fun team. So, but those cover I think those fairly cover the trios without us reaching. I mean, if you wanted to, I could reach, but those ones that are with margin, which I say are admirable, trios, the best trios that in the NBA right now.
All right. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or hit us up on YouTube. You can email us directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Let us know who y'all think are the best NBA threesomes out there. Did we get it right with the best NBA trios? Is it Golden State and Milwaukee? Or do you think some other team has the best NBA trios? Hit us up. Fellas, what's on the radar, man?
The quest for 62 for me, being here in New York. I want to see Aaron Judge take over Roger Maris.
Okay. P, what's on the radar, man?
For me, Mount Vernon High School football, they just reopened Memorial Field. They're actually playing as we speak. So, definitely wish them the best. To my knowledge, they're up 16-8 right now. So go Mount Vernon High School, Mount Vernon Knights, man. Get it done.
Thanks. Memorial Field.
Yeah.
What's on my radar? I'm gonna try to catch the Woman King. I've been saying that for the last week, so I'm gonna try to get out there sometime this weekend to catch the Woman King. A lot of people talking about it, bad and good. So I definitely want to catch it and see it for myself. So that's on my radar.
Sounds good, fellas.
Fellas, any last words? Any last shout outs?
No. I'm good here.
Just wait for that Sacramento Kings playoff run. That's it. That's it. Waiting for Ben Simmons to knock that down in the playoffs.
Wow. Just like the Knicks getting to the playoffs. Yeah. Okay. Just around the time the Knicks will get to the playoffs. Hey, to all our fifths out there, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, subscribe, click the icon, bell icon so you can get up-to-date videos and get notified of when we're posting new videos on YouTube. And thanks a lot for listening. We know y'all could have been anywhere. Thanks for rocking with us. Fellas,